Good day everyone, my name is Melissa Di Acido from Group 1. For today's video, we're going to discuss about the epithelial tissue. So first is, what is histology? Histology is also known as microscopic anatomy or microanatomy. It is the branch of biology which studies the microscopic anatomy of biological tissues. So histology is a microscopic counterpart to gross anatomy, which looks at larger structure visible without a microscope. Next is tissue. Tissue is a group of cells that have similar structure and that function together as a unit. So we have here the four main different types of tissue, including the epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscle tissue, and nervous tissue. So each is designed for a specific function. So epithelium. The epithelium is a type of body tissue that forms the covering on all internal and external surfaces of your body, lines body cavities and hollow organs, and is the major tissue in glands. So epithelial tissue has a variety of functions depending on where it is located in your body, including protection, secretion, and absorption. So we have many different kinds of epithelial tissue throughout our body. Some examples of epithelial tissue include the outer layer of your skin or epidermis, the lining of your intestines, the lining of your respiratory tract, the lining of your abdominal cavity, and your sweat glands. So what does epithelium do? Epithelial tissue has several important functions that are essential to life. Since epithelial cells are found throughout your body, their functions and purpose change based on their location. Epithelial tissue can have one or combination of the following several functions. First is protection. Epithelial tissue protects several aspects of your body. For example, your skin is made up of epithelial tissue and protects the tissue deeper in your body, such as blood vessels, muscles, and internal organs. So the cilia on the epithelial cells that line your intestines protect the rest of your body from intestinal bacteria. So second is secretion. Secretion. Epithelial tissue in your glands or glandular epithelium can secrete or release enzymes, hormones, and fluids.
Our goals here is to identify epithelium, classify epithelial tissues, identify and give examples of the major types of epithelia. The materials that we will be using would be unlabeled photos of epithelial tissues, or epithelial types rather, and we have also here prepared slides.
Hi everyone, I am Joyce Agustin and I am gonna tackle about the characteristic of epithelial tissue. First, it is free surface. One side exposed, free to face outward or the covering or inward to the lining. Lethal matrix, extracellular material. Basement membrane is a thin, glue-like layer that holds the epithelium, remaining permeable to water and other substances. These are the two types or the two kinds of glandular epithelium. First, exurine gland, glands that secrete substances into ducts that empty onto epithelial surface. The second is the endocrine gland, glands that secrete substances that diffuse into the blood stream. Categorized by structures of epithelial tissue. A. Depending on the number of cell layers. First, it is the simple or the single layer, and the second is stratified or the multiple layer, pseudo-stratified or the false stratified, and the last one is transitional changes shape hodgepodge. The second categorized is the shape of cell into outer layers. First, squamous, fish scale-like. Second, cuboidal, roughly cube-like. And the last one is the columnar, column-like.
Good day everyone. We discussed today is all about the cilia. Cilia is a hair-like projection on the pre-surface that refer materials along the epithelial surface. Determine a ciliated or non-ciliated. Keratized did lack nuclei filled with keratin. Non-keratized is the nucleated. Simple columnar epithelium. The main location is the ciliated tissue are the bronchi, uterine tube, and the uterus. And non-ciliated tissue is the digestive tract, bladder. The main function is absorbs and also secretes mucus and enzymes. Cuboidal epithelium. The main location is the sweat gland and the mammary gland. The main function is protective tissue. Anal epithelium. The main location is the line, the bladder, urethra, and the ureter. The main function is allow the urinary organ to expand and stretch. Pseudo-stratified columnar epithelium. The main location is the ciliated tissue lines and trachea and much upper of respiratory tract. The main function is a secretes mucus, ciliated, moves mucus. The different types of epithelial tissue. The first one is a simple squamous epithelium. The main location is the air sacs of the lungs or the lining of the heart and blood vessels. The main function is allow materials and passes through by diffusion and filtration and secretes lubricating substance. Stratified squamous epithelium. The main location is the line of esophagus, mouth, and vagina. The main function is protects against abrasion.
Hello everyone, my topic for today is all about simple cuboidal epithelium. It is made up of cube-like cells present in kidney tubule, secretory, and absorptive in function. In the next, simple columnar epithelium. A simple epithelium is an epithelial tissue that composed of a single layer of epithelial cells. These cells are in direct contact with the basement membrane. A simple columnar epithelium is a simple epithelium made up of columnar epithelial cells. The simple columnar epithelial cells are characterized by being taller than wide. In the next, pseudo-stratified, not a true stratified but appears to be stratified. And the last, transitional. We mean that these cells can undergo a structural change in their shape and composition, while epithelium refers to their location.
Good day everyone, my name is Salvation S. Baltazar, and today let's try to answer some of the questions from our laboratory manual. Let us identify some questions here. Number 1, it is a type of cell that found in simple columnar and pseudo-stratified columnar tissue that secretes mucus. So the answer here is going to be a goblet cells. We all know that goblet cells resembles its namesake. So the wine goblet, if you can remember, it has a large cup-like vesicle that may be open onto the free surface. The cell cup has no wine, but rather it has a mucus. The next question that we have is, it is one of two kinds of glands and it secretes substances onto epithelial surfaces. So we have to remember that we only have two glands, which is the endocrine gland and the exocrine glands. When we refer on the outside or on the surface, it means exo, out. So the answer here would be the exocrine gland. Number 3, a cellular organelle that is a projection that moves substances along the surface of a cell. So These are tiny particles on outside of the cell that projects like small hair-like. So they are called cilia. Number 4 question is, it is a type of epithelial tissue especially well adapted to excessive stretching. So the answer here would be transitional epithelium, since we all know that one of the characteristics of transitional epithelium is it can adapt to stretching. It is found in areas like the urinary bladder, lining of the urinary bladder. The next question is, mucous membranes secrete this water-based protein solution. So the answer here would be mucus. So the spelling is actually different. So we have to know that the term mucus, which is M-U-C-O-U-S, and the mucus, M-U-C-U-S, are often confused. So the difference here is that the mucus, which is the MUCUS, is actually a noun that names a glycoprotein water solution, while the mucus, which is the MUCOUS, is an adjective that describes something covered with mucus. Next question is a tough waterproof material found in the upper layers of some examples of stratified squamous epithelium. So the answer here would be keratin. These are what we call the dead skin cells. The next question is, it is a type of epithelial tissue likely to be found forming glands. So the answer here is cuboidal. Next question is, it is a type of epithelial tissue likely to be found on the palm of the hand. So it's going to be stratified squamous. Those are some questions that we were able to identify during our laboratory exercise on epithelial tissue.